Thank you all for watching. Again, we are going to be continuing Haggai, and we are going to be finishing up chapter 2, starting in verse 10. If you remember, God has been talking to the Israelites about his temple as they rebuild the temple after they've been in captivity in Babylon. And as we look through this passage, we're going to see that God is declaring, he's telling the people how unholy they are, and ultimately promising them blessing based off of his own promise. So we're going to be picking up in verse 10 of chapter 2 of Haggai. On the 24th day of the 9th month in the 2nd year of Darius, the word of the Lord came to Haggai the prophet. Thus says the Lord of hosts, ask the priest about the law. If someone carries holy meat in the fold of his garment and touches with the fold bread of stew or wine or oil or any kind of food, does it become holy? The priest answered and said, no. Then Haggai said, if someone who is unclean by contact with a dead body touches any of these, does it become unclean? The priest answered and said, it does become unclean. Then Haggai answered and said, so it is with the people and with the nations before me, declares the Lord, and so with every work of their hand and what they offer, there is unclean. Now then, consider from this day onward, before stone was placed upon stone in the temple of the Lord, how did you fare? When one came to a heap of 20 measures, there was but 10. But when one came to the wine vat to draw 50 measures, there was but 20. I struck you and all the products of your toil with blight and with mildew and with hail. Yet you did not turn back to me, declares the Lord. Consider from this day onward, from the 24th of the 9th month, since the day that the foundations of the Lord's temple was laid, consider, is the seed yet in the barn? Indeed, the vine, the fig tree, the pomegranate, and the olive tree have yielded nothing. But from this day on, I will bless you. The word of the Lord came a second time to Haggai on the 24th day of that month, speaking to Zerubbabel, governor of Judah, saying, I am about to shake the heavens and earth, and to overthrow the throne of kingdoms, and I am about to destroy the strength of the kingdom of nations, and overthrow the chariots and their riders, and the horses and their riders shall go down, every one by the sword of his brother. On that day, declares the Lord of hosts, I will take you, O Zerubbabel, my servant, the son of Shealtiel, declares the Lord, and make you like a signet ring. For I have chosen you, declares the Lord of hosts. Now, in the Old Testament, it was very easy to be considered unclean ceremonially. To be unclean, all you had to do was, if you came into contact with a dead body, if you ate unclean foods, if you had even like a skin disease. The process of becoming unholy is very easy. Us as people are constantly failing. We're constantly falling short. We're constantly becoming unclean before God. The process of becoming holy is a lot more difficult, right? Ultimately, we need Jesus for us to be declared holy. So when we look at this, God is telling the Israelites, you are unclean. Even as you build the temple, you are unclean. He says that he is the one who has made their work harder to produce fruit. He is saying he has taken away some of the things that he has provided to them in hopes that they would return to him. The book of Haggai closes with a beautiful promise. God promises that he's going to overthrow kingdoms, that he is going to shake up the world. God also promises that Zerubbabel will be this signet ring. And Zerubbabel is in the line of David, so he is a descendant of David, and that is a part of the fulfillment that God has given, of the covenant that God has given to his people, that someone from David's descendants would be in the kingdom, would be on the throne. Zerubbabel is a fulfillment of this here, but Jesus is our ultimate fulfillment. Jesus is on the throne, and he promises to make us holy. Thank you for watching.